What's going on, guys? My name is Raf, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make a super awesome, affordable, delicious tasting electrolyte drink. As many of you guys know, I train jiu-jitsu. I was a personal trainer. I've been an athlete my entire life, so I'm always constantly moving around, sweating, riding bikes, hiking, and I never had electrolytes until about a year or two ago. And when I started taking electrolytes, I'm like, man, I feel so much better. Electrolytes are good for muscle function. They're good for recovery. They're good for your brain, so your ability to focus. And I was like, man, I really can't live without, taking electrolytes every day. And I was working for this company, and then I was like, man, I stopped working for them. I was like, man, I would love to support this company, but this is getting a little expensive for me, and there's nothing wrong with saving $1. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my research and make my own mix. So I was trying different mixes for months, different kind of salts, different kind of powders, different kind of powders for flavor. And I was like, man, all these things suck. I was trying lemon. I was like, man, I don't even like the taste of it. But finally, after some time, I was able to develop a formula that I like that only cost me technically 15 cents a day. I do have one that's a little bit more enhanced, whereas creatine and some taurine, which will cost me about 33 cents a day. But still, in comparison to spending $1 or even spending $1.50, I'm saving a ton of money. So, and at the end of the year, if me taking it twice a day, I think I'm only spending $120 versus spending $900 or $800. So let's get started with the mix. And what are you gonna need? One, you're gonna need some water. So I use a water bottle. This is about 26 ounces. This is what I just use for that. Obviously, if you're using more water, you can put more of the supplements. If you're using less water, I would use a lot less of the supplements. And always start off a little low. The second thing you're gonna need is pink Himalayan sea salt. So this cost me about $10 on Amazon. This is about 1,134 servings if you use 1/4 of a tablespoon. I probably honestly use a little bit less of that to start because it can be super salty. We're also going to use some citric acid. This is used in lemonade. This is used in soda. This is used in candies. Not necessarily bad for you. It can bother your stomach, but most of the time I'm completely fine. But this is going to give it that pop. It's like when you're tasting candy and it's super tart and you're like, man, I really like this flavor. It kind of keeps your mouth watery. That's that supplement. It's like when you have one of those warheads, you're like, oh wow. But if you're mixing it in water, it's not going to be as powerful. For this, I usually use 1/8 of a teaspoon, just because it's super strong. And then I would always start off a little lighter. And then we're also going to use these little Stur water enhancers. So at first, when I was making the electrolytes, I was using Mio, but I believe it has red dye in it, and just some other things that I didn't really feel comfortable putting into my system. When I first started off, I was like, you know what, this is good. It's getting me to drink it. I like the flavor. This is awesome. So I'm going to keep using that as well. Now, obviously, I don't have every single electrolyte in, in here. So there's different kind of electrolytes. There's magnesium, potassium, there's sodium, chloride, and then there's one more. So the reason why I'm not adding the other ones is because I eat plenty of bananas throughout the day, which is very high in potassium. And then before bed every night, I always take magnesium glycinate, which is helps you reduce your cortisol levels, and it helps promote sleep, which is awesome. So I'm not using this right now. I'm sure you could put the powder in if you really need to, but it's just not something that I really feel like I need in my diet. I'm sure I can get my levels tested, and then maybe I would add some more. And then there's two other supplements that I also like to add as well. One is creatine monohydrate. So I got this container, 60 servings on Amazon for about $8. They were on sale, so I was like, I gotta buy a bunch of these things. I literally just got it yesterday. And then I also use taurine, which helps endurance and also helps prevent cramps. So I don't know how much of a difference I noticed with the taurine, but this was $23. It was 500 servings. So still same thing. It's super, super affordable. So I got my price list right here. So like I said, pink Himalayan sea salt has 1,134 servings. If I'm just using one, it's literally a penny, which is crazy. I'm using the citric acid, which cost me 2 cents. So just to add a little bit more flavors, only 2 cents. The creatine is probably the most expensive supplement, but creatine is good for muscle recovery. It's good for energy producing, and it's good for just bringing water to the muscle, which is awesome as well. So this is, what's it called? This is it here. And then we also, like I said, the taurine, 5 cents, and then the Stur water enhancer, which is the second most expensive thing. But if I'm going to be enjoying this water, and this is the most natural one I found online. I used ChatGPT. This is about 12 cents. So if in order to have a good tasting electrolyte supplement, it would honestly just be these three, and it would cost you 15 cents. And if you only had 2 of them a day, it would only be 30 cents, which is like super crazy. So I started to like it a lot. Obviously, I think people have to mess around with the serving sizes and whatnot to kind of find like their acquired taste. But yeah, so let's do it. So we're here. We got our water bottle. I open it up from the top, and this is all I'm doing. I'm opening it up here. I unscrew the cap, and then from here, I get I could get a little less than what's it called? You could do a full scoop, which is 380 milligrams of sodium. It could be a little bit salty at first if you're not used to it. Just make sure you're shaking it well. Some of it sits at the bottom, so you gotta really make sure every time you're drinking it, shake it up just so like the flavor is just not at one point, right? So I scoop this in and then bam. That's probably a little bit more than I do on average. I probably do like 3/4 of a scoop, which is probably around like a little more than 250 milligrams of salt, which is good. So that goes there. The second thing I do, and it doesn't really matter the order necessarily, and then make sure that when you're also using a teaspoon if you can use the other side so that they don't mix up, so you're not getting a little extra. I'm sure it's not that bad, but I'm sure the flavor would be, a little funky. So I usually use a little bit less than half of the citric acid, and I put it in there as well. Cool. And then I had creatine already today, but I just dumped this water bottle before, so I'm gonna add another serving of creatine. And then we have the Stur. So these are 25 servings. I do like maybe a squirt and a half. And then that's really it. So that's gonna increase the flavor. So once you mix the Stur with the citric acid, it's gonna taste really good. I do 1 scoop of creatine monohydrate. This brand is Venture Pal. This is literally the second time I'm technically using them because I used them this morning. And I make sure creatine's very messy, so I make sure that I always like try to make sure it's flat or it's just gonna go everywhere. And here, I dump it on top, make sure I'm trying to get all that creatine in because I'm not trying to miss any kind of gains, right? It's super important not to miss those gains. So we got the citric acid, the Stur, the pink Himalayan sea salt, the creatine monohydrate, and then we got one other supplement, which is the taurine. Like I said, it helps reduce cramps and also I believe can help out with focus and endurance, which is good. I just don't know how much I notice the difference. I do a lot of extreme sports, so no matter what, you're gonna get tired. But let me tell you, like when I'm taking these supplements, and I wasn't taking them before, I was like, man, I'm just getting old. I'm getting tired. Like that's just all it is. And I'm like, oh wow, like I'm just getting older, and I probably should have weighed a little bit more, and I'm not drinking enough water, and my performance went down. The minute I started introducing these supplements into my life, I noticed that my performance on the mat got a lot better. I noticed even after class, I wasn't as tired. I didn't really need to take a nap. And I'm like, man, if I'm spending, obviously I feel like it's important. Like it still would have been worth buying these electrolyte packets, but like I'm like, man, if I could just spend like way less and still get the same exact result. And obviously it's much easier to go like get a scoop or use a packet, open it up and then put it in. But I'm like, it didn't really take me that much time. It literally, like if I wasn't talking on camera, would just take me like a minute. Just scoop, 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 squirt, scoop, and like that would be it. Like that's literally the time difference between me. Like it's like maybe like a 15-second time difference between me making the drink and not. Now let's say I'm going out somewhere and I don't have all these supplements. Well, I can just get like a little container and then just kind of preload everything into there. Make sure it's closed, make sure it's dry. Obviously, I could just bring the Stur by itself and then just get some closed water. Or if I want to, I could just put all the supplements in the bag, but I feel like that would be too much. So normally throughout the day, I put the creatine in the morning and then during training, I will put the taurine in. But normally during the day, I usually have 2 of these, which is about 52 ounces of water. So I think the recommended dose of water is like, half of your body weight in water. So mine should be up to 72. But I'm always drinking some coffee and chocolate milk. So I'm getting hydration from some different places. And then I believe the chocolate milk I have has a bunch of potassium in it. So it's another reason why I'm not really worried about potassium or magnesium because I am taking them as other supplements. But I mean, I could always get my levels tested as well. But I made this mix. So make sure, I always see these things online. They're like, oh, make sure you shake it for like 20 seconds. I don't think the shaking necessarily matters. I think just like, the time of the shaking matters. I think it's more of like how much that you shake it. And obviously, don't fill the water all the way to the top. Like leave some space so that there's so much water on the side. My pants are like soaked right now. Leave some space on the top so that there's like air so the water could actually move around a little bit. So you're getting some more of a better shake, so which is good. So I'm gonna give my honest assessment of like my own drink. I'm not selling it, obviously. I'm just giving you guys this video, some free education, and hopefully it tastes good, because if you put too much citric acid, it might be too sour. If you put too much salt, you might not like it. And then if the worst case is like, oh, it's not sweet enough, just pump a little bit more, like half a squeeze of this, the Stur. It's not perfect, but watch. Now remember, there's also less water in it as well. So much better. So I put like 1.5 squirts in there, and it tastes so much better. Also, I didn't mention with the Sturs, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies in this video, but Sturs, you can get a 5-pack for $15 or $20. So I saw they were on sale last night, so I scooped up a bunch of them. So, and they also have a bunch of different flavors. So we're gonna start off with not my favorite flavor first. I'll show you guys what my favorite flavor is. After that, we got the pomegranate cranberry. This one was good. Surprisingly, I don't really like cranberries. I thought it was gonna have that sour aftertaste. We also have the blue and blackberry. This one's really good. Obviously, like a very classic flavor. I think there's a straw. Oh no, there's a fruit punch. Fruit punch is really good. My family drinks these as well. I think my niece, this is her favorite. We have, I think, the strawberry watermelon, classic flavor. Another one of my favorite, actually 2 of my favorite fruits, strawberry and watermelons. And then you're like, whoa, wait, how can that not be your favorite? The strawberry and watermelon, you just said is your favorite fruit. Well, I have 2 other favorite fruits that I like. Actually, like, one's really good. The other one's not my favorite, but this one's my favorite flavor. It is the peach mango. Just the fruits just go so well together. I don't really like peaches as much eating them, but I do like mangoes because they're super sweet. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, and definitely try it out, come back to the video, drop a comment like, yo, I made that awesome electrolyte drink. It's obviously like I saved a ton of money. Thank you so much, Raph. Put them in the comments below. Maybe you used some different formula. So if you want to say like, hey, I actually added this to the supplement and it tastes way better, or I added this supplement because I thought it would be good for performance, put them in the comments below. But yeah, I just wanted to give you some free educational content. And I promised myself 1 long form video a week, and then I think 3 shorter term ones. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys during my next one. Peace. Also, one thing. Check out my brand, Elevate Athletic Club. That's one of the reasons why I'm making more content. It is a fitness / jiu-jitsu brand. I don't have any shirts available right now because I'm mainly focused on the jiu-jitsu side. So I have jiu-jitsu shirts or like outfits and whatnot. But if you're watching this video and it's not July 7th of 2026, there should probably be some t-shirts out, because I should be designing a t-shirt today, and it'll take a couple weeks for it to come in. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.